What's going on, you guys? Shooting this quick video just to share with you simple steps on how to utilize our customized winner circle Algomat system. I know you guys are very excited to using this system. I have been testing it out for about a month and a half now, and it has been doing very well based off of some of the confirmations that we get. But I'm gonna go through some steps just to share with you what to look for, or what I've been looking for, and what I've been using as confirmations using the system. Right off the bat, basically the system itself, if you can see this outer band up here that is turning, I consider that the sidewalk. I call it the sidewalk. That's the outer band of the sidewalk, and right here down here is the lower band. And what I've noticed with this system, it basically jumps from bottom to the top, bottom to the top, and this is where you will get these signals. These threes, these are signals that'll let you know when is a good time to get into the trade. Now right now I am looking at GBP AUD. It is on 1 minute chart. I don't like to use a 1 minute chart on these pairs. I may use the 5 minute or the 15. I may go to the 1 minute to get an exact entry. But if you're using crypto, you can use the 1 minute to 5 minute chart on the crypto, being that it moves very fast. But as you can see, as you get the three and it is confirmed, once you get this three here, and you also have this blue line represent an uptrend. And when it goes into yellow, it represents a downtrend. So usually what I would wait for is after you get the three, you will wait for the yellow line to start to form, and then you can jump in the trade. So not on maybe this pair here. If you know price action, you know this is similar to an engulfing candle. So you could have jumped in here on this candle, on this 1 minute candle, where we're looking at a 1 minute chart. So for this case, we would have jumped in either on this 1 minute candle or on this 1 minute candle. And you will usually get out of the trade when you get near the bottom of the Algomat, this band here. Now, another thing I would like to do, and I would suggest, is especially on the regular pairs. This is GBP AUD. I would start from the hour chart to see where it is at, and you also get signals here. This says the hour chart is an alert for a buy. So right now we're on the hour chart, and as you can see, it doesn't always pop up as a three, but you will also have these purple and these oranges. The orange signals is really low probability. The purple is medium probability, and the yellow threes are high probability. But if you get a purple inside of your band, it is still a good trade to take. And as you can see, once it's inside of the band, it goes from here, and it came down to the bottom near this band. It jumped back up to the top. It went a little bit past. Then it came back to the bottom, up and down, up and down. And as you can see, the Algomat starts to turn, and it shows that it may start to go on a downtrend. Right here is a slight uptrend on the hour. And as of right now, we're stuck in the middle of the street. If you can see these dotted lines, I consider this the street. The middle in between the bands, I consider that the street. So usually a lot of the times when it gets to the middle of the street, like as so right here, it will consolidate. It is trying to bust through to get to the other side. But I'm expecting this pair to start going down based on the Algomat turning itself. Now, once it gets in this area, I would suggest not to take this trade. This area, the Algomat, if you see it sharply turning downward or sharply turning upward, I would suggest to stay out of the trade. You would try to get into the trade when it's near these areas, when there's a lot of space in between both of the bands. That way you'll have enough room to catch some pips. Now, being that we're on an hour chart, say for instance, if we were on an hour chart and we were here, say this hasn't happened yet, we're here. If you have a three on the top of the Algomat and it is telling you basically that it's going to be a sell, you will go to the lower time frames and you will try to find a good position to get in. Because if it is a sale on the hour, a sale on the 4 hour, a sale on the daily, there's no reason to try to catch a buy. You will want to ride the trend or of the market. So right now it's kind of stuck in the middle. It's looking like, if I was to analyze it, it's looking like it may go up a little bit more, but this pair is going to drop eventually. It's stuck in a little bit resistance. It may eventually come up near this band here, but then after that it's going to drop. So we are looking for now. Say for instance, like I said, we were here and we saw that it was a sell. We will go to the 5-minute chart and make sure that we are in a sell position. We don't want to jump in on a buy if it is a sell on the hour chart. We will try to wait for the 5-minute to show a sell as well. Then we will jump in the trade. That way we're going in the correct direction of the trend. But I use the Algomat in conjunction with the cloud. I also draw up some support and resistance lines on TradingView just to see where we're at. But just based off the Algomat itself, I would say after you put the trade in, depending on if you're using a 1 hour or 5-minute, try to put a tight stop loss just to make sure that you're in the right direction. Maybe a 20 pip stop loss or something like that, and just ride the trend. Write it down, try to catch 10 to 20 pips, and then get out. But just for the most part, this Algomat system is very effective. I'm gonna go to another pair. I have a lot of stuff drawn up here. It can get real confusing using some other confirmations, but I will pull another pair over just so you can see it in real time how effective it is. And right now we are in Euro USD. This is an hour chart. It looks like it's up for a buy, being that this 3 is at the bottom of the Algomat, the bottom band of the Algomat. We're expecting it to reach the top band of the Algomat, and like I said, once it gets to this turn and it's a drastic turn like this, I would suggest to stay out of the trade. So I probably wouldn't use this as an example. But today is Sunday, so and tomorrow is Veterans Day, I believe. It's a holiday, so the markets may not move as fast. Now this is GBP JPY. It is on the hour chart. The market just opened up, and a few hours before closed on Friday, we got a 3. It's that kind of in consolidation modes, kind of is not really making up its mind, but it's expecting to come at least to the outer part of the band. Now, by the time these candles form, it may end up right here in the outer part of the band. It's not going to just shoot up and come straight up here. The 3 may pop up here and then fall even more down here. But this is GBP JPY, so just for the training purposes, if this was a buy on the hour chart, we will go to the 5-minute chart and try to catch a buy position or catch the 3 at the bottom. Right now, it is leaning back to the top. This is a 5-minute chart, so this would have been a good time to jump in on the buy right here about 15-20 minutes ago. Would have been a very good time to jump in on a buy, but it is, as you can see, it's going up. It may consolidate a little bit now that's in the middle of the street, but once it gets to this point here, we won't jump in for the sell. Now, I'm not saying you can't, because you can. Just like you could have jumped in for the sell here. I believe this was, yes, you could have jumped in for the sell here. The market was open today when this sell popped up. So you could have caught about 10 to 15 pips or 20 pips here. But as you can see, once it gets to this region or this bottom band, it'll give you a signal. It might not always be a 3, but it will give you a signal. And as you can see, it's going straight up to the top band. So what I would do is I will wait for it to come back down. And once it gets back down into this lower band area of the Algomat and it gives you either the purple signal or the 3, I will more so wait for the 3, because as you can see here, you have these orange signals that pop up. Usually they pop up in the middle of the street when it's consolidation, and it just shows you that it's going to be a small turnaround. So you could have had a 3 here, up here, thinking it may have been a 3 somewhere in this area. It came down and it showed you that this was a level of resistance and it may turn around for a little bit. And that's exactly what it did. It came up, came back down, came up, and then here goes another one that shows you it got to a level of resistance and it's going to turn back around, and then it came back down. So these orange indicators or these small 1 circles is an indication of a small turnaround or a retracement period. But from 3 to 3, usually it comes from bottom to top. So if you get a 3 here at the top, you're going to eventually get a 3 at the bottom. And as we can see right now in real time, we have a purple signal popping up. You won't jump as soon as you see the signal. You will wait for this candle to close, because this candle can continue to push up, and it can get all the way to this area, and then it can start from here instead of starting from here. So it just like we're watching now, this candle eventually is going to go up a little bit further, and then once the next candle opens and it shows that it's coming back down, then that is when we will take the trade for a sell. That is if we're jumping in a sell. But in this case, being that on the hour, we're still in a buy position. On the hour, we're still in a buy position because the 3 is at the bottom. So we're expecting it to come up to this red algomat, or to this outer band. We're expecting it to come up. We only looking for buy signals. So that's mainly what I would do. I would utilize extra confirmation swipe trades. If you get a swipe trade, check the Algomat to see when it is a good time to jump in. The winner circle signals, if you getting a signal, just check the signals, and then check your Algomat. Utilize your own analyzation. Draw up your own charts, your trend lines, your support and your resistance zones on TradingView. If you're utilizing the cloud in conjunction with the Algomat, make sure that price is, if it's a buy, make sure price is above the cloud. Let me pull up the cloud real quick. We are on GBP, JPY. So what I would do, I will go to TradingView, and I will pull up GBP, JPY, and I will utilize the cloud to see exactly where we're at as well. This is on a 5-minute chart, so I will go to the 5-minute chart here, and it is showing, it just broke out the cloud. It is showing a good buy, but it is at a resistance. So if I were to take the cloud off and draw resistance zones, support and resistance zones, you can see the downtrend happening here, but then we went into consolidation, but this consolidation has some big movement in it. So what I would do is I would draw a horizontal line at the top, and then another horizontal line at the bottom. You can use either the wicks or bodies, because the line isn't just a line, it is more so an area. Now this is based off of just a 5-minute. I wouldn't really draw a chart on a 5-minute, but you can just see the consolidation that we have here, up and down, up and down, up and down. So if you're looking for a trend change, you will wait for it to break this line. See if I can do a trend line. You wait for it to break this line and do something like this. It'll come up. You will want it to come back down to retest, and if it doesn't come back under your at one point it was resistance, now it's using it as support. If it doesn't come back under support and you notice starting to go back up, this is when you get in the trade for a buy. And the same thing for a sell. If it comes down and it breaks below the channel, it comes and it breaks below, then it comes back up to retest, but it doesn't come back into the zone. That is, and then it turns back around and start. That's when you start to go in for the sell. Now, at this point, we're reading the Algomat, so we can see here that it is at the top of a resistance. So I will go back to the Algomat, and I will see exactly right here. We're at the top of the resistance zone, so this may be a good trade to take for the sell. And as you can see, we got the signification here, and we're now riding it down for the sell on the 5-minute. This is a 5-minute chart. Go to the 1-minute chart. You can see it more closely. And there you go. We got the 3 here on the 1-minute chart. So if we had to quote it on the 5 or the 15, notice that it was getting into that zone. You can go all the way to the 1-minute to try to catch the exact entry. And about 4 minutes ago, it gave us the exact entry. It's coming down this street. Turning up like this is going to eventually push, because the Algomat does repaint as it goes. But hopefully that will explain the basics of how to find a good entry using the Algomat system. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. we will start doing more training videos and start training live, utilizing the cloud and utilizing the Algomat system as a group. So hopefully you guys are catching pips with this system. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll see you in the next